They say hindsight's 2020, and well, we may look back at certain aspects of this week and say, that was the bottom. Bitcoin, crypto, morning tea, hey. Good morning, everybody. My name's pianomattyb. That is Scaramucci's. This is your morning TA. A brief glimpse into the crypto markets where the sun's shining, where the winds blow. All the humble opinion of this piano. Zamboni bringing the The FOMO index has dropped down to 46 from yesterday's 47. Bitcoin dominance is 48.9%. 24-hour volume is 22 billion. The overall market cap is 1.05 trillion. Give or take 100 million. Well, with the hijinks and calamity outside the charts, it's easy to forget that financially speaking, life goes on. The legacy zombie markets lawn bowl and play bridge for 6 hours a day, but the crypto market never sleeps. Yesterday, we managed to find a bottom and a bounce at our channel support line at 26K. She took a good 4 knocks on the chin, but she held for now. We're far enough out of our old ascending channel that I'm gonna draw in a new one with a symmetrical triangle kicker to boom. Breakout points of interest are up at the 20 moving average at 26.5 and down at our 4 knock Sally support line of 26K. We're really on a tightrope here, walking either above and beyond 26K, or falling underneath her, where we'll have to have some uncomfortable conversations about lower price targets. But this is the 4-hour chart, and she's a what? That's right, she's a noisy little so-and-so. Now over on the ding-dong. We got our second rejection from the 20 moving average, which is my bullish barometer of health. Moving forward, if we can get up and above her, we'll likely retest and hopefully break out from our descending triangle resistance line up at 26.5, which is the 38.2% fib to boot. But if we can't get above her, we'll likely float down and retest this triangle support at 25.6, which is the 78.6% fib. And when asked how the entire Canadian Parliament could give a tearful, boisterous standing ovation to an old-school Nazi, Canadian simp and cuck Prime Minister Justin Trudeau replied, well, my dad's from Cuba, and, well, down there I was raised to respect and revere. Is that a dad alert? Yes, it is, my friends. Well, she's a little bit of a stretch, but if you squint your eyes, you can make out a cute little baby. Head and shoulders pattern. It's vague, but she's there. And the price probability this pattern is, and sing it with me now. Oh, you take the pull, you slide it all, the breakout point, and then we're all at 25.1-ish. Standing ovation, no less. What an absolute laughing stock. It seems the wheels are coming off all the fiat blood money regimes. Their lines are getting crossed. They've been so corrupt for so long. They don't even think they're doing anything wrong anymore, but we do. That's why we're in Bitcoin. Bitcoin has an uncanny ability to fix things. We all see it. And soon the rest of the world will as well. We tend to watch train wrecks gather steam and snowball out of control till they inevitably crash and burn. But it can snowball into the light, so to speak. Good can snowball as well, don't you know? Positive momentum builds just as fast, if not faster, than negative momentum. And when the world is fighting for answers, truth, reconciliation, resolution, the solution is Bitcoin. Would you look at that, my friends? The sun's up. It's another beautiful day here on planet Earth, a day none of us are guaranteed. We're not guaranteed these days, but we're lucky enough to have them anyway, so get out there and knock 'em dead. And remember, we're playing the same game as our psychopathic elected leads. That's right, it's the long game. So zoom out and have a fantastic day. And we'll be going live right away. Grab yourself a coffee, join me for a quick one, and sing me out, won't you? Run the banks, a boom, dash bang, Bitcoin, crypto, morning tea. Hey, whoa, cha-cha-cha-ching. There, Jesus, the one thing I forgot. So what I was laughing at is I couldn't believe we're in mute. Are we still mute? Are you still going now? Mic check. Is it good? Or am I, there we go, okay. Better now. It says multi-track. Yeah, I see it going. Okay, good. I couldn't believe what I was watching last night. I was going to bed at 8 at night. Quick little peruse on my homepage on YouTube. And there it was. It was, let me do some good mornings here first. This is it's the insanity is at its peak. Good morning, Misco, pianomattyb, OG, Mad Faded Baby, Sarah S. in California, Steve-O, DJ Morgan, Squeaky McGee, Brandon Taylor. I can't even read my writing. I was writing so fast. David Sony Music, pianomattyb, OG, Chris Brewer, basically an OG out of Georgia. When I saw you come up there, Chris, I thought, so like, let's say this was happening in Winnipeg, right? Well, I would be able to see where, let's say Ben was in Winnipeg. If he was doing that in front of some guy's house, I'd kind of know where the area of Winnipeg was. So I was wondering if in Georgia, Chris, if you're still in the chat, I don't know if you are, did you recognize where that was? And is it a place where you can just go and, I mean, moreover, is it a small enough place that you see all these people around, or is it big? It's like too big to even fathom. Because in Winnipeg, we would know exactly where that is, and we would probably see a lot of it happening. So anyway, Get Off My Lawn, Louis Barbarant, Dan Lucia, Johnny December and Belize, pianomattyb, OG, Bruce, my blue punk rocker, Sherry. Chris, thanks for becoming a pianomattyb OG. Much appreciated, helping build this channel. Rabid Peanut, JP, Flipper Frank, Earth Scum, Mario Cantanese, Jody Morgan, Camo, Crawdad, and Mark Stone. Brandy Taylor, Randy Abite, Crypto Tat, Zach.
Gavin 24. He said the street to Atlanta is huge. Yeah, I figure it's huge, but could you not tell where that's going? Anyway, it's not like you're gonna hop in your car and do that. This is what I thought about that. And I remember when this first happened, when a month ago or whatever, I told the story about my drummer friend who was an addict. And being in the music business, or should I say, trying to make music in the money business, I came across a lot of people with addiction problems, whether it's drinking or drugs or whatever. So it was no big deal. But when it gets to the end stages, he was in Duluth, about 3 hours north of me. Okay, thanks, Chris. When it comes to the end stages of the addiction, some weird things come out. It's almost like the ledge you start walking out on starts getting thinner and more slippery. And so you have to do things to maintain your footing on this ever shrinking ledge. And things get faster, things move faster, things get more erratic. And I think that's what we may be realizing or watching. You know, it reminds me of my drummer buddy who in his end stages of his addiction, he didn't die or anything, but he, it's cold out here. He looked an awful lot like Ben last night. So when Ben was yelling at him, he looked completely erratic. Like he looked like he was in the throes of some sort of drug, you know, whatever that is. And another thing I realized is in the past couple of days watching Ben's video, I forgot about one thing with addiction. Is that when addicts hit this point, they become so clever, charming, and seductive. They start pulling out every aspect and every tool they have to smooth things over, to convince you things are okay. And again, I don't know anything. We don't know anything. We're just watching these crazy videos. So information can come out tomorrow and I'll completely change my mind, right? My mind is almost different today than it was yesterday. Yesterday I was thinking, because I was getting seduced and I was getting charmed by his positive, he's on that polar spectrum where it's euphoric, you know, and because we're empaths as human, we respond to passion, we respond to euphoria. So when he was excited, gets me excited. And then I slowly start getting seduced, you know, it's like, well, maybe he's right and everyone's wrong. You know, could be. And then it's then that I realized, snap. I'm falling for it again. I'm believing the hype, you know, and I did this with my drummer buddy, believe me. It was like a roller coaster. Because you want to believe, you have faith in the person, you know, in your friend and in the potential of your friend. You see the good things that could happen. You want good things to happen. And that's when I kind of said, oh, whoa, okay, let's stop it. This was before the cop thing because my feed just dropped. It stopped working. And then later I saw it on Twitter. Someone had managed to capture it. But the beginning of the feed, I saw, who said that? Will Bird left the gun in the car. Yeah. So if I may be mistaken, but didn't he have a gun with him in the early stages of that? Like, wasn't he carrying a gun? Like, so this is how insane that could have turned out. Like, up here in Canada, let's get Maddie to pump those legs. Ooga, 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 ooga. We don't really have people carrying around guns. Now, I'm all for guns because I don't trust the government. So I feel like we have to protect ourselves from a tyrannical government. It's not like that here in Canada. So in the States, we see tons of stories of people getting shot by cops for not even having guns, right? The cop thought the phone was a gun and shot him, right? So he was sitting there like with his phone and everything. So, I mean, God, it could have turned out so much worse. He should be thankful that the worst thing that happened was that he wound up in jail. Because, yeah, Misco, Georgia's a Second Amendment friendly state. Yes. Man, that could have been so bad. Like, it could have been ghastly. I saw some people saying, "I won't believe it's the cops till I see the report." But I think I've seen the report. There was on Twitter. They had like some of the information on his bookings or whatever. So here, and then he's sitting there. This is why I think, man, if this was planned out, like it's all kabuki theater, the fact that he could throw down his phone and it still shoot up at him, like still get an angle of him with his hands up, I'd like, that's a pro streamer right there. If I ever saw one. I mean, how could throwing down your phone, I mean, it could have went a whole bunch of sideways. But it was like, boom, perfect angle. Got him. Perfect angle. And then he's kind of choked on his words. Anyone in the truck? Yeah. Yeah. Cassie. Oh, and at that point, it was just, okay. There's a whole ton of weirdness going on here. And when getting back to the seduction and the believing in your friend and the potential of all good in people, I kind of think about in his personal life, whoever's with him, whether it's his wife, whether they're still together, you know, the family tends to rally behind people in certain situations. And with my drummer friend, his family basically said, this has got to play out, right? And so by playing out, that's that ledge you walk off. It gets thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner, and you start getting more erratic, more erratic, and more erratic. Bad Ben, bad. What you gonna do when they come for you? Yeah, he said on Twitter he's gonna do a live stream as soon as he's out of jail. Oh man, that's insane. It's insane stuff. I also watched. I don't know if you guys watched this, but the altcoin daily thing. And the only reason, Timothy Poe, you think it's cocaine? No, but I don't know. See, I never did cocaine, but I was around a lot. I was around it a lot, but I never realized people were on cocaine till they were really on it. You know, like all of a sudden back in the day, I'd be at an after party and I'd be in the kitchen guzzling Coors Lights. And then all of a sudden it was like everyone was gone from the kitchen. I look around, where'd everybody go? Right? And I wasn't thinking people are going and doing coke because I'm guzzling Coors Lights. And then all of a sudden they come back and it's just like best friend, business idea, best friend, universal energy, blah, 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 you know, and then I'm like, oh, all right, everyone's spiraling here on coke. Yeah, it's hard to say what it might be, whether that's kind of the steroid use kind of coming out of it or being on it. I don't know, because they're both bizarre things. He's lovesick, says S. Little. Well, you can imagine in this hysteria, these highs and lows. If you're a junkie, and when I say junkie, I don't mean a heroin addict. I think when you're an addict, you have junkie mentality. Highs and lows are riveting on both ends. So these peaks are amazing, but these lows are kind of like the ammo and the turnaround. They can affect you just as much as the highs. Cassie is the CIA plant. Yes. Timothy Poe says this scenario will hurt his lawsuit. Yeah, I can't imagine any lawyer going, yeah, you just keep doing what you're doing. Oh, you're going to Carlos's house? Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. As your counselor, I can't really disagree with your actions. I think they're all good. Don't worry about it. So makes me think that maybe there aren't any lawyers involved. Maybe. What do I know? I'm here on a porch in Winnipeg. Anyway, yeah, I watched the Altcoin Daily with TJ Old Joe, and that was like the sober yin to the Ben's raging yang. So, when it comes to being a good listener, I always tell Duke, or being a good communicator, it's being a good listener. Listen. You don't always have to talk. You'll learn more from listening. And I found that his demeanor, TJ's demeanor, was just so rational and calm. And his rationales and arguments weren't like gotchas or stick it to him. It was more like, well, this is where we stand here. And I tend to think in this long game, whoever's on the right side here just has to play the long game, and it'll come out. And okay, let's say Hit Network and TJ. That's where everything's right. Well, the long game will prove them right, I suppose. And Jonah says, men like him who have once recovered from addiction should stay away from voluntary drug usage like diet pills. It just acts as a trigger for mental breaks. Yes. Yeah, that's true. Because I remember when my drummer friend, it was the one beer. He had one beer after a long time. And after that was just the trigger. Boom. Let me see if we can get Matthew McConaughey to pump these likes to 100. Come on, Maddie. Ooga, ooga, ooga. Pump those likes, Maddie. Over 100. Yeah, so storm chasing video. It's reminding me of the movie Wolf of Wall Street, where he hooked up with his ditches of Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, Margot, and went off the cliff. Yeah. We've all kind of had that. I know I've had relationships in my life where it was Bonnie and Clyde-esque, and it was just party time, and it was devil may care. Let's just go out in a blaze of glory type of relationship and time of my life, right? Those times are over. Thank God. But I can see it. I can see it in there. He's got the mistress or whatever you want to call her in the truck, and he's claiming he said something on his stream in his hotel room, if that's where he was, about his wife, and it was a pivot from we are working out to we're trying to work it out, right? So makes me think, again, that's just personal stuff, so whatever. But best of luck. I hope it turns out. he needs to chill. S. Little Ben needs to chill or he'll lose everything, including his pseudo crypto fame. Yeah, and you know what, Brendan? TikTok next block. That's exactly it. That's why time will heal these bizarre wounds and people will get over it and we'll move on. And no one will know about this. I mean, it's going to be hard to forget at this point because it seems like it's getting crazier and crazier. But, you know, we're sitting at 26.2. Same price we were yesterday. Nothing really happened. Although, let me add this. We saw the Dixie break 105, which I talked about yesterday's video. Watch out for this. But it seemed we got divorced from the Dixie because we had a little bit of a pump yesterday while the Dixie was pumping, and usually they're exactly inverse correlated. And then it kind of dumped back down. So maybe there was some divergence between the inverse correlation. That was the only weird thing that happened yesterday. So I don't know. Is this appreciated craziness in this crab walking prelude to the insanity that's going to be this bull run? Yeah. I mean, it's entertaining as all hell, that's for sure. But it's sad that it's at the expense of certain people's well-being and maybe ultimately their future, because some things are hard to turn around from. And I feel when I saw TJ say there's always a road to redemption, I like that because I always felt that way with this, the BS that happened with vaccines and masks and everything. And I had some heated debates with people regarding both. And I told them, I go, listen, when this is all over and you make a different decision about where you stand on the vax and the masks, we'll just, that'll be it. I don't care. I won't hold you to any stake or hill. Let's just get on with our life once things flatten out. And, 80% of those people kind of just pretended it never happened, and that's fine. Maybe that's the road to redemption. But no, there's no but. There's a road to redemption. Even there's people in my family that I said, listen, when you stop doing this, just let me know, and we won't talk about it again. But again, it's hard to forgive and forget. It's easy to forgive. It's harder for me to forget. There's certain people, there's certain businesses in this city that wouldn't let people in without masks, and I just don't go there anymore. And I'll probably never go there. That being said, I don't go anywhere, so it's not really hard. I go to the piano bar and play there, and I go to the squash club and I play there. 95 likes. Come on, Maddie. Let's get Maddie McConaughey. That is. I'm not just talking to myself in the third person. Maddie, ooga, 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 ooga. Those likes up to 100. Swashbuckling Scallywag. The mask was definitely low IQ. Yes, that's true. But I just sent something to the post office. I went to the post office and there was the post guy was in a mask. And the whole time when I see someone in a mask, what goes on in my head is I go, say something. No, I'm not. Don't say something. Who cares? Leave him alone. Say something. No, he's a dummy. Just why do I have to? What? It's not my. Say something. You should say something. He's a dummy. You can maybe enlighten him. No. So then I finally get up to him, and what do I say? I go, what's with the mask? I could not hold my breath anymore. Because I also saw him talking to someone with the mask off, and then I walk up and he puts the mask on. So I was like, what's with the mask? And he started laughing. And I felt like maybe he just needed to be questioned about the mask to realize, like, sometimes you just need the mirror in front of you to go, yeah, what is with this mask? And he's like, oh, it's just, a kind of habit. I think there's something going around. I'm like, yeah, there's something always going around. Since the day you were born, there's been something going around. That mask is not going to do F-A. So although I really try to hold my breath because I see masks everywhere and I want to tell everything, what the F are you doing? Like, come on. Denny Kane says, my favorite proof of masking doesn't work is grab a cigarette or a vape and you can clearly see the mask doesn't work when you blow through. Yeah, well, even an N95, it's a one-shot deal and it's 95% effective as a one-shot deal. You know, the worst part was these kids having to wear masks, you know, with their picking their nose and they're kids, right? That mask was probably more gross than anything that could have been floating around in the air. That's why I told my son Duke when he was at school, don't wear the mask. Just, they tell you to put it on, just don't. And they stopped asking him. And what are they going to do? He was 7 at the time, give a 7-year-old 7 constant shit for wearing a mask? I mean, they're government workers at the end of the day. They're educators. They mean well. But they have mandates. They get memos, and this is what we're doing, right? So it's not their fault. However, I don't subscribe to it. I'm just doing my job. To me, that's a coward's way out. But again, people will do things as long as their paycheck depends on it. I had a last question before I go here. I feel I'm going long-winded these days. I had a cop friend who, when I would talk with him, he would, you know, try to uphold his stance on things, why he does certain things, why he was talking about going to a rally and banging some heads, right? And I'm like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Why would you ever do that? He's like, well, we got to maintain the law. I'm like, listen, you are one paycheck away from being in that rally. And once you lose that paycheck, you're no longer a cop. You don't care. You're like one of those, in the Game of Thrones, one of those nameless, faceless knights running around doing the bidding for the king or queen that hates you. Johnny December, I see people down here on the island in the water alone wearing a mask. Johnny, come on. In the water in a mask. Well, yeah. Are they swimming with the mask, Johnny? Are they swimming with the mask, Johnny? Anyway, this is getting crazy. Okay, folks, well, let's hope something happens this week with the price. Nope, just enjoying the sun. Again, I'm holding my breath now saying things. Yeah, best is driving alone wearing the mask. I see that a lot in Winnipeg too, and I want to roll down the window. Hey! Hey! I don't. Live stream tomorrow. I'm going to try. Yeah, of course, I'm going to try to make a video. If the price doesn't move, I probably won't make a video unless something crazy happens in the market outside of it. Like, who knows what's going to happen today? So we'll see. I'll for sure do a live stream, I think. It just might not get the video. But let's end with some classic Bit Boy. Ben, I was wondering if you had, any thoughts on green dots.
Do you know what we do here? We win all the time. Fired up. Fired up. Somebody said relying on green dots. Come on, man. If you don't think these green dots work, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. You are an absolute idiot. Fired up. You are a loser. You continue to lose. Yeah, let's check that out, guys. Let's check that out. Fired up. That's kind of the definition of what happens to people in life who we call losers. They always feel like the one time that they try the thing, it doesn't work. The one time they try it, it doesn't work. You lost money on one trade. You look so small at the micro moments in life. And you take experience from that and you cast it across an entire range of time or experience. That's why you're losers. That's why you're losers. losers. That's the kind of person who will never be successful in life, will never be successful in anything. Because you're too narrow-minded and short-sighted and idiotic to see what's right in front of you. Because you're too narrow-minded and short-sighted and idiotic to see what's right in front of you. Yeah, they don't work. Let's go back. Let's look at the chart here. Get out of here, Gizmo. Yeah, I hate Gizmo. I love Gizmo. He's so dang cute. I want a Mogwai. Let's go look. Let's see if they play out. Let's look at these patterns and let's see if they played out. This December of 2019, aka the entire bull run. I know y'all like when I do that. Bull run. Boom. Bull run. Boom. I can't even call you what I want to call you because it's not politically correct. Do you know what we do here? We win all the time. Do you know what we do here? We win all the time. 184% gain. Oh, just a 64% gain over 2.5 months. Idiot. 2.5 months. Boom. 548% gain. Why don't we go to the next one? Why don't we go check out the next one? Let's go. Let's go. Here it is, right here on the chart. You guys see it. Next one. Yeah. Come on, man. Come on, rely on the green dots, you idiot. Let's check out the next one. Here we go. Boom. Next one. Only 128% gain. Only 120% gain. This is why you're a loser. This is why you continue to lose. This is why you don't make money in crypto. This is why you come in for 3 months and then you disappear like the vermin that you are and you don't come back in. And you don't come back in. And you don't come back in. Because you're so idiotic that you can't look at a chart over a 2.5-year period of time and see how much it works. I get so tired of people coming to this chat and say stupid crap like that. Your parents are disappointed in you, sir. Because you haven't done anything with your life. Boom.